जिसे ढूंढती हूँ मैं हर कहीं, वो कहीं मिली मुझे है नहीं, जिसके यूज केस पर हो यकीन, वो ऑल्ट कॉइन है कहाँ। हे हे। Hey folks, here Rachna Ranade here and I welcome you all to a brand new video which is about altcoins. So first let's understand how this terminology altcoin came into being. It's actually made up of two words, alt and coin. So when I mix these two words, a new terminology comes up which is nothing but altcoins. But more on what is an altcoin, why it came into existence, where can we check all these altcoins is coming up in the coming parts of the video. It is said that necessity is the mother of all inventions. And do you think this holds true even for the crypto space? Answer is obviously yes. The very first digital asset or the cryptocurrency which came into being was the Bitcoin. And do you think that this Bitcoin is like absolutely perfect? It has no limitations? You really feel so? So let me give you a few examples for that. Like the very first one, I can tell you that smart contracts, which we have already learned in the previous video, these smart contracts cannot be executed on the Bitcoin blockchain. So isn't that a limitation for Bitcoin? Yes. Second one, if I talk about scalability. Scalability is again a big problem for Bitcoin. So that is also one more limitation. Third, if I talk about the gas fee is nothing but, for a layman, I can say it's like a transaction fee. Gas fee is a little bit more for Bitcoin as compared to various other altcoins. So that's also a place where this is not perfect. One more differentiation feature can be the consensus algorithm, for which even Bitcoin works on proof of work, not on proof of stake and not even on proof of history. So I hope you're understanding that there are certain points where Bitcoin surely lacks, and that is the reason why multiple altcoins came into being which actually try and get better in comparison with Bitcoin. Well, in the pre-bumper, I was just singing a song कि वो altcoin है कहाँ, वो altcoin है यहाँ. But where? That's what I'm going to tell you. This is a website which is coinmarketcap.com. If you just quickly get onto this website, you will be able to see a bunch of cryptocurrencies starting with Bitcoin. Is that an altcoin? No. So how do you define an altcoin in a simple manner? As I mentioned, any coin other than a Bitcoin is an altcoin. So amongst this entire list, what do you have to just neglect? The very first one, which is Bitcoin. And other than that, whatever you can see on screen, whether it is Ethereum, which is ETH. You remember in the last video I've told you, Ethereum is a network and ETH is a coin, correct? So whether it is ETH, ADA, BNB, XRP, Doge, DOT, whatever, SOL, Uni, all these are what? All these are altcoins. Okay. Very important. What do you see here? This is nothing but the market capitalization. Okay, I'm sure everyone knows who watch my stock market videos how to calculate market capitalization. It's nothing but the share price multiplied by the number of shares. That's how we do it in stock market. How will we do it here in the crypto space? It will be number of coins multiplied by the rate per coin. Simple. So higher the market capitalization, I think it gives me more comfort as an investor. So is there a concept like a large cap in crypto space as well? Answer is obviously yes. So this is what we generally tell all the newbies who are wanting to invest for the very first time in crypto space, that one of your checklists should be that, is it a coin, is it a digital asset with a decent enough market capitalization or not, right? So I hope you have understood where to find this market capitalization. It's on the website coinmarketcap.com. Now let's try and do a broad classification of all the crypto tokens. Okay, how can I broadly classify them? The very first one can be assets. The second one can be stable coins. The third one can be utility coins. And the fourth one can be security coins, right? I'm sure you have understood. Nothing, right? So let's try and go one by one and understand the meaning, and also very important, we are also going to talk about practical examples of each of these types in a little bit. I want your 100% attention for the next 2 minutes, because what confusion I faced is I'm going to try and I'm going to clear it for you what is the big difference between a cryptocurrency and crypto as an asset? Okay, see, the moment I use the word cryptocurrency, what comes in front of my eyes? What is the first thought that pops up in my mind? I can go to a store, I can give that currency and buy a piece of bread. I can go to a store, I can buy some medicine with that. But then you will say, Arey Rachna, cryptocurrency is not accepted in India. It's not a legal tender is what you have only told us. Then how do you call it as a cryptocurrency? Exactly, that is the reason why we should not ideally look at it from the perspective of a currency, but we should look at it from the perspective of an asset. Now, how come it can be an asset? Let's try and understand that. Many cryptos are termed as store of value. Now, why store of value? Let me give you a simple example. Other than cryptos, one asset class which is surely looked at as a store of value is gold. Okay, now why gold is looked at as a store of value? Supply is limited and demand is unlimited. We Indians, we love gold. Demand is unlimited, right? But supply is limited. Does this same thing happen for any other crypto? Answer is obviously yes. Best and simplest example is a Bitcoin. Okay, so what would happen? Supply is limited, demand is going to go up at some point in time. Yes, so can I say I could look at a Bitcoin from a perspective of an investment? I could look at it from a perspective of an asset rather than as a currency. I hope you have understood this perspective. Okay, I'm not looking at it from a thought process of buying something by exchanging it, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of an investment that my amount of investment will increase. Okay, now you'll say, I will invest in gold directly. How can you correlate it with a Bitcoin, or how can you correlate it with some other cryptocurrency? Simple example can be of Pax Gold. You will be like, what is Pax Gold? It is a digital token that is backed by physical gold. Now, those who have seen my first lecture on derivatives, they will understand this point in 30 seconds. How? Gold and gold future. Gold future derives its value from the underlying asset. We have checked this out so many times. Similarly, Pax Gold, which is a crypto asset, derives its value from what? Gold. As simple as that. So, instead of investing in gold directly, I am investing it in a cryptocurrency. Instead of that, now we are going to use the word crypto asset, and I am expecting that the price of that will eventually go up. I hope you have understood why we should use the word crypto as an asset rather than crypto as a currency. Now let's go on to the second classification, which is a stable coin. Now I'm sure that those who love to stay away from this crypto space, one common reason would be that they are really scared about the volatility in the price movement of cryptos. I'm sure you might have heard this, that this crypto went down by 20% in one day, the other one went up by 30% on some day, right? So those who are scared with this volatility, I think for them to start their journey in this space, the best option can be investing in a stable coin. Okay, I'm not sure whether I should be using the word best option or not, but an option would be a better word, I guess. Right? Okay, because otherwise people will say, oh, she has given a suggestion. No. This is just an example, okay? So if I go ahead with a stable coin, why the word stable? Because that stable coin is going to derive its value from something which is pretty stable. I'll give you an example for that, don't worry. USDT. Okay, USDT is one of the very famous stable coins. USDT derives its value from what? From USD. USD apna US dollar. If the value of US dollar goes up, ideally USDT price will also go up. If USDT goes down, then if USD goes down, then price of USDT will also go down. So I hope you have understood that how USDT derives its value from USD. Okay, is there any other example of stable coin? Answer is yes, it is BUSD. Now, what is BUSD? It's again a crypto which tracks USD, but it has been launched by Binance. So, Binance ka USD is BUSD, and USDT was the crypto which has been launched by the company Tether. Okay, that is why USDT. I hope both examples for stable coins are absolutely clear. Let's move on with the third and fourth classification, which is a utility token and a security token. Okay, instead of giving separate examples, I'll try and give you a single example which will clarify both these concepts very easily. Okay, just visualize this person and he has gone to a casino, and what he does is that he goes to the cash counter first. Okay, he'll deposit some money, and in return he's going to get tokens. Tokens also called as what? Chips. Chalo, chips, not khane wale chips. Huh? Okay. In Marathi, we call them as bille. Now, what are we going to do with that? What is that person going to do with that? That person will go in the gambling arena and will gamble till all his tokens are lost. Correct? He'll lose all the tokens, and empty-handed poor person, he's going to be like, hey Bhagwan, I lost the entire money, right? Now I'm looking at this entire scenario closely from outside, and I say that what amazing thing it can be if I can own the casino itself. Why? I can see that there are many people who are coming to the casino every day. They are losing money. If they are losing, who is earning? It's the person who is owning the casino. So what amazing thing it could be if I can invest my crypto tokens, my crypto assets, and invest in that casino itself. So if this example has fit into your mind, please understand the difference very carefully. The person who took the tokens from the cash counter actually has taken a utility token. What is the utility? Utility means what? Use case. What is the utility or use case of that token? It is only one thing, to play. Correct? Whereas the token that I took to invest in the casino is called as a security token. In simple words, I become the owner of that casino indirectly. I become an owner through that ecosystem. I hope this example is clear, but in real world, can I invest in shares of the companies with some cryptos? Yes or no is what we are going to talk about in the immediate next section. So that's how you can see this website Binance.com, and on the left hand side you can see certain symbols. Just as an example, the very first one is AAPL/BUSD. Now what is this BUSD? I just told you right now. BUSD is what? USD ka stable coin, Binance ka USD, and that is why BUSD. I talked about this just like 2 minutes ago, right? Now with this you can buy Apple shares. What? Yes, you can invest in Apple shares, not directly, indirectly through this portal. Okay, which one? Binance.com. Okay, so am I using a crypto token to invest in shares of Apple? Answer is yes. That is why this token is called as what? Security token. I hope you have understood this. Okay, so any crypto token which can be used to invest in securities like assets, bonds, debentures, all these are called as what? All these are called as security tokens. Okay, ma'am, only Apple? Arey, wait. You can also invest in the shares of Microsoft using this same website. You can see here the symbol is MSFT/BUSD. So that's a pair that is shown on the screen. Just one more example if you want. Why not? Tesla. TSLA/BUSD, that is the symbol for that, right? That's a pair basically. Okay, so one more amazing feature is that you can invest in the shares of these companies up to 8 decimal points. So I hope you have understood absolutely in detail practical examples of security tokens as well. So I hope you have understood the broad classification of crypto tokens, but let me quickly revise it for you as well. The very first classification I talked about was assets. So which were the practical examples that I gave you for cryptos being considered as assets? First one can be BTC, second one can be Pax Gold, and even one more obvious example is NFTs. I've talked about NFTs in my previous video. You can check that out later. The second one is stable coins. I have given 2 examples, practical examples as well. One being USDT, second one being BUSD. The third one and the fourth one I took together. One was a utility token, one was a security token. For utility token, I talked about an example of that person going to the casino. But what can be the real life examples? What could be real life utilities for assets? Simple examples can be exchange tokens. One base example can be WRX, which is the WazirX related coin. For DeFi tokens, I can give you examples of Swap, which is used for the DeFi concept of, or example of that is PancakeSwap. One can be for Aave. Aave is the token for Aave itself, right? One can be a protocol token, or we can call it something related to the infrastructure, wherein I can give you examples like ETH or Matic. And the last example was, last classification was of a security token, wherein I had given you example of how you can check out various quotes, how you can buy stocks or indirect ownership in stocks like Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla. So now let's move ahead by understanding few altcoins. By the way, this is not a recommendation. I'm not giving you a portfolio recommendation that buy these altcoins. Not at all. I'm just trying to explain few altcoins which have decent enough market capitalization. The very first one is ETH. If you remember, I've done a detailed video on that, wherein I tried to explain that Ethereum is the platform and the token is ETH. Okay, so whenever time permits, just have a look at that video. Second one which we can take for the day is BNB. Now, what is BNB? BNB is a utility token. Please don't ask me what is a utility token. I just explained you what is a utility token, right? So BNB is a utility token for what? For Binance, which runs on the Binance Smart Chain. Now, what is Binance? If you are again getting confused in that, I also showed you the website of Binance just like 2 minutes ago. Don't behave like Gajnis, right? So what is Binance now? Binance is a cryptocurrency exchange, and currently Binance is the largest exchange in the entire world in terms of daily trading volume. If you have a look at the white paper of Binance, it is very clearly mentioned there that Binance Coin has an initial token supply of 200 million BNB tokens. I hope you have understood some basic points about the BNB coin. The next one is Polygon, which was previously known as Matic or Matic Network. By the way, the founders of Polygon are from New York. From London? No, they are from Amchi, Mumbai. It is India's first unicorn protocol, and it's such an amazing thing. Why it was introduced? Why? Of course, to overcome certain limitation. Limitation of what? Of Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum has two major limitations, not according to me, according to the founders of Polygon. The two major limitations were scalability, and number two were the costs involved. So Polygon was introduced as a side chain to the Ethereum blockchain, and they tried to resolve the scalability issue and the cost issue to a great extent. I hope you have understood the basics of Polygon. If you want to read more, always you can visit the website coinmarketcap.com, and right there you will see that white paper. If you want, you can read through that very nicely to understand more about Polygon. The next altcoin is Push, which is for Ethereum Push Notification Service, which is EPNS. Let me warn you at the outset, it is a small cap and it has been launched just 6 months ago. Then you might be like, why are you even talking about that? For a simple reason, the founder and the co-founder for this token is also an Indian, and one of the advisors to this is Mr. Sandeep Nelwal, who is the co-founder of Polygon. I'll just quickly tell you what is the thought process behind this project. One of my colleagues was telling me the other day that she was trying to buy an NFT and she had paid almost 15,000 for that. She said for 2 days she didn't get any clarification whether it has been actually bought or not. She said there is also a website through which you can track this, but that was also showing a delay. I said, didn't you get any notification for that? She said, that's the problem. If you're buying NFTs or even if you're doing any transaction through some DeFi, you don't get any notification. And this exact problem is being tried to solve through EPNS. I hope you have understood the use case of EPNS. Next altcoin is Solana. Solana. Nahi, it is Solana. Okay. Anyways, Solana is again one of the altcoins which we have to understand. They try to improvise in 3 major parameters. Well, let me just deviate a little bit. Whenever I talk about any investment, as an investor, I think about 3 major features. Which are these 3 features? Liquidity, safety, and returns. Similarly, if I'm talking about a good crypto asset, 3 major features are to be checked. One is scalability, one is security, and the last one is decentralization. It is said that Solana is better with all these 3 aspects as compared to ETH and Polygon. It is also said that Solana protocol is designed to facilitate dApps, which is nothing but decentralized apps. Solana also uses a POH or a proof of history as a consensus algorithm, and it does not use proof of work or proof of stake as a consensus algorithm. Enough of examples? No? 2-3 more. Chalo, quickly we'll try to do that, right? Next one can be Cardano. Cardano was founded by Mr. Charles Hoskinson, and he is also one of the co-founders of ETH. Cardano is said to be an environmentally friendly cryptocurrency, and it also uses the proof of stake as a consensus algorithm. One more example of altcoin can be USDT. I have talked about USDT in the first part of the video. I don't think I need to talk about that further. Let's move on to the final altcoin for the day, which is WRX. It is a utility token for WazirX. I hope everyone knows by now that WazirX is an exchange through which you can trade in various crypto assets. It's a token which is based on the Binance Smart Chain, and it is a BEP20 token. Let me quickly take you to the website first, but not of WazirX, but first I'll take you to the CoinMarketCap website, wherein also you can see various altcoins, but you can see that the quotes are given in dollars. Now, if you shift to the WazirX website, you can see that the default is in INR. So for us, it becomes comparatively easier for us to digest because it's in the INR currency pair. If you want to check, you can also see that WRX currency pairs are also given here very nicely. So what is the use of WRX token? What is the utility of WRX token? Let's understand. So say I bought 1 or 2 cryptocurrencies through this platform. Will I have to pay brokerage? Answer is obviously yes. Can I pay brokerage in INR? Answer is yes. But if I pay the brokerage through WRX, then I get 50% off on the brokerage amount. So I think anyone would want to do that, right? There's also one more amazing website, nft.wazirx.org, through which you can buy and sell NFTs. So whenever time permits, just go through this website, and if you have not yet checked out their app, please check out the link in the description box given below. Well, I hope you have understood a lot about altcoins today, but before you think about investing in any altcoin, just check out the following things. Do check out how much is the total supply, how much is the circulation, how much is the market cap. Also try and follow the price movements. Check out the white paper, check out the website, check out the community. Oh my god, so many points I've told, but I hope you will check out all these points and then only take your final decision about investing in any altcoin. If you have enjoyed the video, if you have found some value in this, don't forget to share it with your friends, relatives. Until then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye.